Did you know the library is full of dirt? Join us this summer as we begin Get the Dirt. Discovering interesting reading trails. There will be trails about pets, music, monster trucks, and more. Today's Get the Dirt is about pets. Do you have a pet? I have quite a few that I've rescued over the years. Since I travel, I had to find pets that were self-sustaining. That means I needed pets that could be left alone for a few days at a time, as long as I made sure they had plenty of food and water. I did lots of research, so when pets came my way, I was ready. So I thought. Do you remember what pets we've had visit us so far? Yes, we've had a gourami, a rabbit, and a turtle so far. All these pets, while still needing regular care, are able to care for themselves for a few days, as long as I made sure they were in a safe place and have plenty of food and water. Well, I guess for my gourami, the water part takes care of itself, since he lives in a 75-gallon fish tank with more fish friends than I can count. Well, before I introduce today's pets, let's read a book about Franklin. Do you remember reading about Franklin when you read about turtles? Franklin is a great book series because Brenda Clark draws engaging pictures and Paulette Bourgois does a great job writing stories about Franklin and everyday situations he goes through, just like you. Grown-ups like to call these social stories, and I just like to call them fun. Let's read about Franklin's the Pet Dilemma and Franklin Wants a Pet. Franklin wants a pet. Franklin could count by twos. Franklin could tie his shoes. Could sleep alone in his small dark shell. He even had a best friend named Bear. Franklin wanted something else. He wanted a pet. Franklin wanted a pet since he was small. But whenever he asked, "May I have a pet, please?" his parents said, "Maybe someday." Franklin waited a long time. He often pretended to have a pet. He took Sam, his stuffed dog, for walks. He taught Sam tricks. He even helped Sam bury bones. But Sam wasn't a real pet. One day, Franklin asked his parents again, "May I have a pet, please?" Franklin's parents looked at each other. "We'll think about it," they answered. At first, Franklin was happy because they did not say no. Then Franklin became worried. His parents could think about things for days and days. That day, Franklin visited Bear, told him all about the pet he wanted. "If I had a pet, it would be a bird," said Bear. "Why?" asked Franklin. "Because birds sing beautiful songs," said Bear. "Birds are nice," said Franklin, "but their loud singing may wake me up too early." Franklin waited until morning before he asked his parents if they had finished talking yet. "Not quite," said Franklin's mother. "You need to know that you could care for a pet." Franklin nodded his head up and down. "Would you feed your pet?" asked Franklin's father. Franklin nodded again. He almost said "please" 100 times in a row, but he stopped himself. Franklin visited Beaver and told her all about the pet he wanted. "If I had a pet, it would be a cat," said Beaver. "Why?" said Franklin. "Because cats make purring sounds," she answered. "Cats are nice," said Franklin, "but you never know where they are." Later that day, Franklin asked his parents, "Are you finished thinking?" "Not yet," they answered. "Please hurry," said Franklin. His father said, "Franklin, this is a big decision. A pet costs money to buy and keep." Franklin offered all the money in his piggy bank and hoped it would be enough. Counting his pennies, Franklin visited the goose and told her all about the pet he wanted. "If I had a pet, it would be a bunny," said Goose. "Why?" said Franklin. "Because bunnies have wiggly whiskers." "Bunnies are nice," said Franklin, "but I think whiskers might make me sneeze." After 3 whole days, Franklin was tired of waiting for his parents to finish thinking. He had a plan. He brought Sam to the breakfast table. "I've been taking care of Sam for a long, long time," he said. "I'll take care of a real pet, too. I will feed it, I will clean its house, we can take it to the vet if it gets sick." Franklin's parents smiled. "Sounds like you've been doing a lot of thinking, too," they said. "So may I have a pet, please?" he begged. They whispered to each other. They nodded, their heads up and down. "Oh, thank you, thank you." He wanted to go to the pet store right away. "We'll help you choose a puppy tomorrow," said his father. "No thank you. I do not want a dog. His parents were surprised. Dogs are nice, but I want a quiet pet. Franklin's mother asked him if he wanted a kitten. No, thank you, said Franklin. Kittens are nice, but I want a pet that stays close by. Hamster. That you want? Said Franklin's father. Hamster shook his head. No, thank you. Rabbit? Said Franklin's mother. No, thank you. What kind of pet do you want? Asked his parents. Franklin smiled and said, I'll show you tomorrow. At the pet store, Franklin pointed to a fish. I want a goldfish. Yes, he said. Goldfish? They said, why? A fish cannot do tricks or play with you. So Franklin explained. He liked to watch fish swim slowly around and around. He liked their beautiful colors, and he liked the way they made him feel inside. Quiet and calm. Besides, he said, I love goldfish. That's the best reason of all, said Franklin's parents. Franklin named his fish Goldie. He took very good care of her, just as he promised. Every morning, Franklin watched Goldie swim around and around. Every night, before he went to bed, Franklin blew a great big fish kiss and whispered, I love you, Goldie. If you like the story about Franklin, be sure to get the joint in the easy section under BOU for Bourgeois. On more tales, spelled TALES, about Franklin and his friends. Are you getting a clue to what pets I brought today? Here's one last clue in a fun book called, well, I won't tell you what it's called yet. This book series is entitled Name That Animal. And on each page there's a clue and a picture of that clue on the opposite page. Let's read page 10. There are more than 125 different kinds of this fish. It can be green, brown, gray, or spotted, but it's best known for a golden orange color. Its fins are so thin they're almost see-through. Can you guess this fish? I don't think it's a gourami. How about you? Is it a rabbit? No. Yes, it's a goldfish. Goldfish hatch from eggs, as most fish do. They're tiny when they hatch, but goldfish can grow almost 1 foot long, if they have enough space. These fish are almost 6 inches. Pretty big for a fish, I'd say. The title of this book is Name That Fish. It's one of several in this series found in the 597 section of the library. So have you guessed today's pets? Yes, my pets are my goldfish. How do we know my goldfish are fish? Yes, they have gills for breathing underwater, fins for swimming in the water, and live all of their life in the water. My goldfish's names are Too Big and Too Small. I named them in honor of my first 2 goldfish, Biggie and Smalley. Smalley was the smaller of the 2 and only lived for a couple weeks. I was little when I had her and didn't get the dirt well enough to know that goldfish eat and eat and eat so much that, well, they can't eat anymore. Bee was the bigger of my first 2 goldfish. He lived for 6.5 years. That's a long time for a goldfish. Based upon the size of these goldfish, I think they were probably about the same age as Biggie was. Do you remember when we got the dirt on gardening? That inspired me to get the dirt on different types of gardens, which led me to get the dirt on water gardens and ponds. Well, I'm still getting the dirt on how I will build a permanent water garden. But until then, I made a simple habitat for my goldfish out of a kiddie pool. Their habitat is in an enclosed pen to keep them safe from wild animals. My rabbit joins them in the pen, but not in the pool during the day. And on warm sunny days, my sister's turtle also joins them in the pen. The water is just the right height so my turtle can stick her head out of the water and breathe the air. The turtle also has nice big rocks for sunning herself. They're hiding places for goldfish to feel safe. See, my goldfish usually like to have something on top of their water that they like to hide in, but because these canning jars are so small, I couldn't fit one of them. Now, I already knew that when I was given Too Big and Too Small, they were goldfish. But do you remember how we might identify them if we didn't know what kind of fish they were? To find out what kind of fish a particular type is, you can get the dirt at the library. They have some great nonfiction books about fish in the 639 section. This book is called Aquarium and Pondfish by David Alterman. On page 332, I find a section on goldfish. 332. Here it is. And I learned that goldfish is a type of carp. What makes a goldfish different from other types of carp is that goldfish do not have the barbels around their mouth. Goldfish are native to East India, first bred in China. So, East Asia, sorry. So this is Eastern Asia. There's China. What are barbels? Barbels are slender whisker-like sensory organ near the mouth. Yes, like whiskers, barbels on a catfish. You may be thinking that my gouramet's whiskers were barbels as well. Well, when I got the dirt, I found out that a gouramet's whiskers are used like barbels, and whiskers are an antenna for sensing things. However, a gouramet's whiskers are actually special pelvic fins. Huh, who knew? Well, you do now. Let's flip to page 344 and see another fish that might come to mind when you think of a large goldfish pond. Yes, that's koi, spelled K-O-I. They too are carp and are quick to distinguish from goldfish because they have barbels. Koi are native to Japan, which is right here, and look a lot like large goldfish. Koi are specifically bred for their colors. Do you remember how to tell the difference between koi and goldfish? Yes, goldfish have no barbel, and koi and other carp do. If these fish will hold still long enough, you will be able to see that. If you want to get the dirt on goldfish care and see if fish is the right pet for you, be sure to get the dirt in the 639 section of the library. This one is called Caring for Your Goldfish. It's a good book. There's another one, and there's others in this series. This one's called Pet Fish, Questions and Answers. And if you really want to know lots, this is a great book. It tells you about what type of tanks and just lots of great facts about goldfish and choosing the right type of goldfish, because there are a lot of different goldfish. There's even goldfish that are called bubble-eye goldfish. They need special care, so they're not a great first goldfish to get. The book that I'm choosing to read is Pet Fish, Questions and Answers. Who can breathe underwater? My fish. Fish breathe out through gills. Water carries gas called oxygen into the gills. The oxygen goes into the blood and through the fish's body. Fish need oxygen to live. How do fish swim? Fish wave their bodies back and forth to swim. Their tail fin pushes them through the water. Other fins help them turn or stop. Can fish smell? Fish can smell through two small holes on their heads. Water flows fast through these holes. It tells fish if food or danger is near. Do fish have ears? Fish do not have ears on the sides of their heads. They hear through inside ear parts. Fish have lines on their sides called cells. These cells help the fish know when something moves nearby. What do fish eat? Fish eat fish flakes or frozen food made from plants and animals. Do not feed them too much. It makes them sick. It also makes the water dirty. Where can I keep my fish? Pet fish live in fish tanks filled with water. A pump keeps the water moving. A filter keeps it clean. Do fish sleep? Fish do not sleep like people or other animals. They rest and save energy. Some fish settle down at the bottom of the tank. Others float in one spot. I had a betta, and he would lay on top of my filter and just sleep. He'd lay on his side. It was hilarious. Can I train my fish? Most fish are smart. They can be trained to do simple tricks. Some fish swim through hoops for treats. I trained my fish to swim through a hoop. I also trained him to eat out of my hand and come to the top of the fish tank when I walked by. That fish was called Biggie. Remember, that was my fish that lived for 6.5 years. Do not pet your fish. You might hurt it. Hands can make the water dirty. Enjoy your fish from the outside of its home. Those were just some facts, some questions that they answered in this book. This book goes more in detail about fish and fish tank. It also has very cute cartoons. It's a great factual book about fish. Do you know what I received in the library in the Digging Deeper packet? Origami! There are many great origami books in the 736 section of the library. I found many on how to make an origami goldfish. Then I designed my own origami goldfish for the beginner. Here's an origami fun. It's about its pets. And here's one of their goldfish. But I came up with an easier one how to do it. In case you don't have a square sheet of paper, because you need a square sheet of paper, you can use a normal sheet of paper. What you do is you fold it so you make a triangle with the bottom part. So see, I took the top and I folded it at this corner, just like so. Then, you see this extra part at the bottom, you take a pair of scissors and you trim it off. And if you want to, you can even make more origami squares out of this little section by, again, folding it in the corner. And trimming off the bottom. Now that I have a square, I'm going to put it in a diamond formation. Then I'm going to fold it in half like this, so it's an upside down triangle. Now you want to fold it in half again, so it's a smaller triangle. But then you want to open it back up. Take this corner and you fold it towards the bottom, like so. And you do the same thing for the other side. This is along the lines of how you would make a puppy dog. Because for puppy dogs, then you just pop up the ears. Then, you fold these sides up. You fold it like this, so it goes smaller. And then you fold it back down, and you put these up, so it looks like that. Then, to make the fins, you can make fins many different ways. So if you have it this way, you could fold it like this, and make small fins. But I like to make big fins on my fish, so I fold them like this. Make sure they're even at the top, so you have similar looking fins. And then you flip it over, and you have a fish. You can draw a face on your fish if you want to. I'm going to draw one on my fish. I'm just going to do a simple eye and mouth. Now your fish can swim through the water. It is harder to make a smaller fish with your smaller square of origami, but it is just as fun. As you can see on my globe, I have 2 small fish that I did from small papers that I found in my origami bag from the library. In the 734 section of the library, you can get the dirt on drawing animals such as goldfish. This is a great book. It goes through step-by-step easy ways of how to draw sea animals, which includes fish. Here's a seahorse, clownfish. Here is the goldfish. By going to the table of contents page, I can quickly see that goldfish are on page 10. And if you want to draw a more cartoony version, I can look for number 1, which is number 4, page number 4, the cartoon fish. In the 646 section of the library, you can get the dirt on sewing animals such as goldfish. This book is called I Love Crafts. That's a series. It's called Sewing. We're going to the table of contents page. I can quickly see that there's an undersea mobile on page 24, like I saw on the front cover. So I look down. Undersea mobile, page 24. So now I'm going to go to page 24 and see. They have you cut everything out from the fabric, then you stitch it together, and when you're done, you have something that looks along the lines of this. I told you that the library was a great place to get the dirt. You never know where you end up as you begin digging deeper. One last book I'd like to share is A Fish Out of Water by Helen Palmer. Or was it Gustav the Goldfish by Dr. Seuss? Here's an interesting story I found when my family was getting the dirt on Dr. Seuss. Early editions of the popular beginner book, A Fish Out of Water, included a claim on the dust jacket that the author, Helen Palmer, was married to an eccentric writer, Theo Leiseg, himself a beginner book author. By now, many people know that Leiseg is Giesel, spelled backwards, and that Helen Palmer was Ted Giesel's first wife. What few people know is that her book was based on one of Ted's lost stories, Gustav the Goldfish. The basic stories in Gustav and A Fish Out of Water are identical. A goldfish gets fed too much and grows progressively larger, being transferred from a fishbowl to a flower bowl, to kitchen pots, to a bathtub, and finally ending up in the cellar. The main differences are that Helen's version does not rhyme, and the illustrations by Phil P.D. Eastman, with whom Ted worked, and the Army, who created the wildly successful beginner book, Go Dog Go. So I chose to read A Fish Out of Water because I liked the illustrations better. This is a little fish, I said to Mr. Carp. Do you guys remember what carp is? Carp is a type of fish. Isn't that fascinating? I want him. I like him. He likes me. I will call him Odo. Very well, said Mr. Carp. Now I will tell you how to feed him. Then Mr. Carp told me, when you feed a fish, never feed him a lot. So much and no more. Never more than a spot. Or something will happen. You never know what. When I took Odo home, I gave him some food. I did not give him much, just one little spot. This did not make Odo happy. He wanted more food. He had to have more. Poor Odo. He just had to have more. I knew what Mr. Carp told me. Never feed him a lot. Never more than a spot. Something may happen. You never know what. But I gave Odo all the food in the box. Then something did happen. My little Odo began to grow. I saw him grow and grow and grow. Soon he was too big for his little fish bowl. There was just one thing to do. I put Odo in the flower bowl. Here, Odo, I said, this will hold you. But no, the flower bowl did not hold him. Odo went right on growing. This was not funny at all. His tail was growing right out of the top. I grabbed the flower bowl and ran with it. Odo, I said, I know just where to put you. Then you will be all right. I put him in a big pot, but Odo was not all right. I saw him grow some more. Very soon, he was too big for that pot. I put him in pot after pot. He was growing so fast. Poor Odo, my little fish. Oh, why did I feed him so much? Odo, I said, please stop growing, please. But Odo could not stop growing. He was growing all the time. Very soon, I ran out of pots. Odo had to have water. There was just one thing to do. I did it. I grabbed him. I grabbed him by the tail. I ran up with him, up to the tub. The tub is big. It can hold lots of water. At last, there, Odo, I said, this tub holds my father. This tub holds my mother, so it will hold you. But the tub did not hold him at all. He went right on growing. Oh, Odo, I said, what can I do now? Then crash, the door went down. Crash, Odo went down. I went down too. Oh, what a ride. Down went the water into the cellar, and down went Odo too. I had to do something fast. I grabbed the phone. I called a policeman. Help, help, I said. I fed my fish too much. Mr. Carp told me not to, but I did. What, said the policeman? Mr. Carp told you not to, but you did. Too bad. I will come at once. The policeman came. My fish went that way, I said. It was down in the cellar. The policeman ran down with me. What a fish, he said. It's much too big to keep in a cellar. We will have to get him out. We had to work and work to get Odo out. Poor Odo. Why did I feed him too much? Mr. Carp told me something would happen. And it did. It did. Now we had Odo out of the cellar, but Odo had no water. No water at all. A fish has to have water, I said to the policeman. You must take him to water. Get help. Call for help on the radio. Policeman called on the radio. He called for the fireman. Help, help, he said. A boy has fed his fish too much. A boy has fed his fish too much. We will come at once. The firemen came. They all helped Odo up. But where can we take him? Uptown? Downtown? To the pool, yelled the fireman. To the pool, I yelled, and please hurry. They did hurry. The fire truck with Odo came right up to the pool. The fireman yelled, everyone, get out of the pool. The fish is going in. Down into the pool went Odo. Into the pool with a big, big splash. Now he's happy. At last, my Odo had water. Lots of water. But this big pool was just as if this big pool would hold him. But Odo went right on growing. No one wanted Odo in the pool. They did not like Odo at all. Who take that fish out of here, they yelled. There was just one thing to do. I did it. I ran to the phone. I called Mr. Carp. Please, please help me, I said. I fed Odo too much. Oh dear, said Mr. Carp. So you fed him too much? I knew you would. I always say don't, but you boys always do. Yes, I will come. Mr. Carp came. He had a black box in his hand. He had lots of other things too. What are you going to do, Mr. Carp? I asked him. Mr. Carp said nothing. He just ran up to the pool, took his black box with him, and all the other little things too. And splash! Mr. Carp jumped into the pool. Splash! Now Odo went down too. All I could see was his tail. Could not see Mr. Carp at all. What was going down in there? What were they going down there in the water? Now I could see nothing. Not Odo, not Mr. Carp. Nothing at all. Would I see my Odo again? Would I see Mr. Carp again? Mr. Carp, I yelled. What are you doing? Are you all right? Then up jumped Mr. Carp. In his hand was a little fishbowl, and the bowl was my Odo. Mr. Carp made him little again. Don't ask me how I did it, he said. But here is your fish. And please, from now on, said Mr. Carp, please don't feed him too much. Just so much, and no more. is what I always do. Now I feed Odo. So much and no more, ever more than his part. Something may happen. And now, I know what. If you want to find out how the other version reads, get the D.I.R.T in the juvenile or easiest section of the library under SEU for Seuss. It's found in the book The Lippo Seed and the Other Lost Stories. It's a very interesting book. I found the one about the bear and the rabbit quite funny. Thanks for watching today's pet episode of Get the D.I.R.T. Tomorrow on Get the D.I.R.T, we will be digging deeper the theme of this summer's reading program into a profession that when my sister and I were younger, we wanted to be when I grew up. Have a great day, and be sure to get the D.I.R.T at your local library.